inside the life of a personal trainer with ADHD and depression. I start my day off by waking up anywhere in between 4 a.m. and 5:30 a.m. And the first thing I'm going to do every morning is drink about 20 to 30 ounces of water. This just really helps wake me up, and it also helps me take my allergy pill because my allergies are usually on 1,000 first thing in the morning. I like to start with a carb heavy breakfast because I lift weights. So I'll have oatmeal mixed with milk, mixed with protein. That way I'm ahead of the game for hitting my protein goal because I am bulking right now. So it is January. I'd like to bulk until probably March or April. And then after that, I'll start cutting down because we usually go on a family trip to the beach every July. So for now, I'm eating probably anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500 calories every single day. So I have to start my day off with a very big carb heavy breakfast. So after I make my oatmeal, I will always mix in the protein, which is about 20 something grams. And then I'm going to top it with strawberries. This protein is a whey isolate from First Form, and they are the only supplement company that I trust. I love to put this particular protein in my oatmeal because it mixes so well. So I don't even really taste it. This is the salted peanut butter flavor. And as I said earlier, I'm going to top it with strawberries, but it's not always strawberries. Sometimes I'll mix it up and I'll mix in blueberries or apples. Again, it really just depends on my mood, but probably 90-95% of the time I'm in the mood for strawberries. So this is oatmeal with peanut butter, protein powder, and strawberries on top. I usually do like anywhere from 100 to 150 grams of strawberries, and that's my food scale so I can know exactly how much I'm eating. Once the food is ready, I find something on the TV for background noise, and then I read my 10 pages. I try to read 10 pages of a book every single day. Then it's time for the gym, and today is chest day, which is my favorite day, so I always start out with bench press. And I do like a warm up set, depending on which week it is of my 4 week cycle that I have. I just start with a warm up. Then, when I head back home after my workout, which is usually about an hour, I'll mix up my post workout shake, which is also from First Form. It's a whey protein isolate, two different ones so that I can get enough protein. So I've been eating vanilla milkshake with loop de fruit, which tastes like Fruit Loop milk at the bottom of the bowl. And then I add in my glycogen replacement, which is the fuel we use at the gym, and top it off with creatine. And I take this every single day after my workout. And I take creatine every single day, whether I'm working out or not, because it's just good for you. There's so many benefits of creatine. So if you don't take it yet, you should definitely start taking it. A couple more supplements I take are fish oil and a multivitamin. And I take these with breakfast just because that's when I'm going to remember to take them, but you can take them any time of day. So on Mondays, I weigh myself and measure and take my progress photos just to see where I am in my fitness journey. And I've just entered an 8-week challenge through First Form. So I'm going to take the progress photos and enter that contest today. Now it's time to train my client, and today is his heavy bench day. He is my in-person client. Most of my clients are online. So if you are looking for a personal trainer to give you some help and help you get very strong, I would love to do that for you. He started out only benching the bar, maybe 65 pounds, and he's gotten so much stronger in just a year. So it's amazing what you can do once you just get started. And then once I finish up with him, it's time for second breakfast. So this is another way I get in a lot of protein in a little bit of time. So to start out, I will add some tomatoes to a bowl just to get some carbs in, but not necessarily a ton of carbs because I'm trying to bulk. So I really need to focus on the protein. So I'll eat probably anywhere between like 50 to 100 grams of tomatoes. And that's just really, for flavor, if you will. I'm more interested in how much protein am I getting. So I like to spray the pan with Pam because it is zero fat. So I use cooking spray instead of actual oils, which can be up to like 30 grams a serving of fat. So that's why I use Pam. Then I just add in the tomatoes and let those saute a little bit while I'm making the eggs and egg white mixture. I use about 140-ish grams of egg whites, which is 3 egg whites. So I just kind of pour that in and use my food scale to see how much I'm actually eating. I don't know how I would survive without my food scale. Then to those egg whites, I'm going to add 3 eggs, just another source of protein. Also, a source of fats, with the yolks, because I want to make sure I have all of my macros. But protein is the one I'm mainly focusing on because I want to make sure I'm building muscle so that my bulk is successful. Because what's the point, of eating a lot of food if you're not going to get the results that you're after? So once the eggs are all cooked, then I add a plate to my food scale, zero it out, add the eggs to the plate. Then I end up having to zero it out again because now the eggs have been weighed. But anyway, I do this so that I can see how much cheese I'm putting on top of my omelet mixture. So I usually eat maybe about a fourth of a cup of this cheese, and that's about 28 grams. And this is pretty much all the cheese that I eat the whole day. I don't eat a ton of cheese, but I do like to have cheese on my eggs. Next, I start preparing my next secret ingredient to getting more protein, which is protein coffee. I just started eating protein coffee recently because I was only getting maybe 50 to 60 grams of protein in a day. And now I'm up to over 200 because I don't want to see all my hard work go to waste anymore. So I'm really, really focused on getting in enough protein, and protein coffee has been a lifesaver. So, what I do is I add some milk to a cup, maybe like half a cup, 2/3 of a cup or so. Just depends on the consistency that you like. I'll just add that into a cup, and then I'm going to add in a scoop of protein powder. This protein powder, I think, has like 24, 25 grams of protein in it. So it really bumps up my protein for the day, which I definitely appreciate and my body appreciates. So this flavor of protein is cinnamon cookie batter, and it is so delicious and it smells so good. Also from First Form because that's the only supplement company that I trust. I usually also add French vanilla collagen to my coffee, but today, since I was already going to be over on protein, I didn't really stress about it. But I mix it together with the milk with a frother, and I got my frother from Amazon. Then I just add the coffee to a cup. This is probably about 16 ounces of coffee or so. And then I just add the creamer that I just made into the coffee on top. And then I usually top it with whipped cream, but I was out today, but that's just a nice extra touch. And altogether, second breakfast is like 70 something grams of protein. Usually, second breakfast keeps me full until dinner time. And for dinner tonight, we're having salmon. And I get this salmon from Costco. It is individually wrapped and already seasoned for you. It has amazing macros, 30 grams of protein, about 20 grams of fat. And then I just pair that with some rice. Sometimes, if I'm under of my carbs, I will add some broccoli. But I was doing okay on carbs today. Just really wanted to focus on making sure I got at least 185 grams of protein because that's my goal body weight. So, whatever your goal body weight is, that's how much you want to eat in grams of protein. So, I try to eat anywhere between 185 and 200 grams of protein a day. And that's just for my muscle gain goals. I go really hard in the gym, I lift pretty heavy. And so, I want to stay strong, but I also want to make sure that aesthetically, I look like I lift weights. So, that's my main goal. And that's why I eat a lot of protein. So, salmon, each one of these fillets is about 30 grams of protein. So, I usually just air fry it and eat it with rice for dinner, and it is delicious. It's already seasoned, so I don't even have to worry about that. That saves me time. And so, I just throw everything in the air fryer. I'm going to let this air fry probably about 15 minutes or so because they're still frozen. But if they weren't frozen, then you'd only have to air fry them for probably like 8 to 10 minutes. I eat a lot of salmon and I also take fish oil because fish oil is great for your brain. So if you have ADHD and depression like I do, it's really going to help your mental health. So I always make sure that I'm eating at least 2 to 5 servings of fatty fish a week. And salmon, I would say I probably eat about 2 or 3 times a week. And I don't really get tired of it either, especially this kind that's already seasoned. So that just is another thing that takes something off of my plate and I don't have a lot of tasks to worry about. Because with ADHD, sometimes you just can't focus on that right now, which is why all of my dinners and usually my breakfasts too are always going to be 5 ingredients or less. This meal with the salmon and the rice gave me probably about 37 grams of protein. After dinner, it's time for my nightly wind down routine, which is super important if you have ADHD, just to make sure your next day is set up and your future me is successful. So I always lay out my clothes and I always pre track my food for the next day. So I know exactly what I'm going to be eating. And probably about 80-90% of the time, I eat the same thing every day. When you have ADHD, you just want to make your future self thank you. So always stay in routine. Don't really change things up. So if something works for me, I just stick with it. So that goes for food, that goes for my routine, that's everything. So eating the same thing every day really helps me out a ton because now I don't have to think, oh, what am I going to eat today? Or what am I going to eat tomorrow? It's all already there. It's already in my app. It's already planned out for me. I know how much protein I'm getting. I know how much carbs I'm getting. So I can make sure that all of my macronutrients are hit. And then I can just focus on the micronutrients, which is going to be in my multivitamin. It's going to be in my fish oil supplements and also in my nighttime slumber smoothie that I'll show you guys here in just a second. Pre-tracking your food is a lifesaver and a time saver, whether you have ADHD or not. I love it because now I don't have to think about what I'm eating tomorrow. I have a plan, but also it's going to save me time tomorrow when it's time for me to track everything that I am eating. It's all already placed in here, so I can just go through and edit as needed. So sometimes I might have a little bit extra strawberries, for example. So all I have to do is go in there and edit the amount of grams that I ate instead of having to type in everything and then weigh everything and then put it in there. Now I do it the night before, so it's something else that I just don't have to think about. And my future me is thankful because past me already did all the work. So I put in every single thing that I'm going to eat the next day, and then I can make sure that all my macros are where they're supposed to be. And as you can see, they all are. Once I have all my meals pre-tracked, I just put everything out so the next morning I'm not digging for everything. This is my salted peanut butter protein that's going to go in my oatmeal. I put that out with the oatmeal, and now I'm going to prepare my slumber smoothie. And I call it that because it has magnesium, which helps you sleep, Opti Reds, which are your antioxidants, and Opti Greens, which is going to help with digestion. Then I'm going to take Core 21, which is going to reduce my cortisol and help me stress less and get some good night's sleep. So I put in the magnesium, 2 scoops of the reds, 2 scoops of the greens. Then I'm going to froth it really well. My frother is from Amazon. I'll send you a link to it. And then I take that with my Core 21 pills, and it'll be time for bed. I try to shoot for 7 to 9 hours of sleep. So I try to be in bed between like 8 and 9 p.m. Sometimes it's 10 p.m. if I'm waking up at 5 the next day. It all depends. But sleep is going to be the biggest part of this muscle building journey. Once I finish drinking this, it's straight to bed and do this all again tomorrow.